One up Wednesday to 3,000 or 4,000 feet, so watch out for the snow on the mountain passes overnight through early tomorrow.
On World News tonight, an explosion of violence in the Middle East. Palestinians dead and wounded after Israel attacks very close to the Palestinian leader. Our correspondent talks to Yasser Arafat right after the attack. Tonight, Barbara Walters talks to President Bush about what is next in the Middle East. In Afghanistan, the village that was bombed by the U.S., it was worth it, this farmer says. We'll take a closer look tonight at the changing company pension plan. Your retirement may be in jeopardy. And medicine on the cutting edge, the pill that makes it possible to stay alert without sleep for days.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to begin in the Middle East tonight, where the U.S. has so much at stake. The Israelis have been on the attack again against the Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. The Israelis say they're trying to force Mr. Arafat to stop Palestinian terrorists who are killing Israelis. The Palestinians say they're making it impossible for him to do anything while his government is being attacked. ABC's Gillian Findley reports on Israeli attacks today in the Palestinian city of Ramallah and the Gaza Strip.
They heard the warplanes before they saw them. Seconds later, the missiles hit. Israel's target was one of Yasser Arafat's security buildings in a residential area close to 3 schools. A 15-year-old boy was one of 2 Palestinians killed. Dozens of other children were injured. In the West Bank town of Ramallah, the target was Yasser Arafat's presidential compound, just 50 yards from his office. When they saw the planes, aides to Mr. Arafat rushed him to the basement. When we met him several hours later, Yasser Arafat told us he believes Israel's Prime Minister Sharon is out to get him.
He wants to destroy the authority of the Palestinians and to kill the leaders of the Palestinians.
Israel has now declared Mr. Arafat's Palestinian Authority an entity that sponsors terror. It's attacked his offices, destroyed his helicopters, even occupied the airport he uses. All of this, Arafat says, after he'd started doing what Israel has demanded, arresting Palestinian extremists.
Within 48 hours, I had arrested 121.
The Israelis and some U.S. officials have suggested the arrests are just for show, and Arafat is clearly disappointed by his lack of support in Washington. He says now the U.S. envoy here, General Anthony Zinni, won't even return his calls.
I am asking President Bush to give the order to General Zinni. He is here, General Zinni. We were trying, but no response.
For its part, Israel's government says it's not out to destroy Mr. Arafat. It's just trying to send him a very tough message. Gillian Findley, ABC News, Ramallah.
In Florida today, President Bush told a town meeting in Orlando that he still believes a lasting Middle East peace is possible, that first the terror must stop. And at the White House, before he left for Florida, he sat for an interview with Barbara Walters, and they talked about the Palestinians.
I think there are some Palestinians that don't want peace. Hamas doesn't want peace. They will do everything they can to destroy a peace process. A peace process, by the way, that was just beginning to mature and nurture and develop. There is no way that Israel can negotiate a peace process so long as its country is being terrorized.
Is Arafat, Yasser Arafat, interested in peace?
That's what we're about to find out. It's now time for Mr. Arafat to prove whether or not he is for peace. And the way he can do that is to aggressively rout out those who would derail the peace process by murdering innocent Israelis. He must show that behind his words of peace there is action, because now's the time. We need action. We need somebody to lead. Or else there's not going to be peace.
There'll be more of Barbara Walters' conversation with the President and with Mrs. Bush tomorrow evening on 2020. Today, the Bush administration froze the financial assets and closed the offices of a major Muslim charity. The Texas-based Holy Land Foundation is accused of financing the militant Islamic group Hamas, which claimed responsibility for last week's suicide attacks against Israelis. Federal agents raided several Holy Land offices around the country today. Well, the war against terrorism and its connections is immensely complicated. The government detains people and very often does not say why. The government freezes people's assets or prohibits them from doing business. And very often we do not hear the details of why. ABC's John Miller was in Saudi Arabia recently and went to see a man, seemingly, in this predicament. John?
Well, Peter, U.S. Treasury investigators say Yassin Qadi, a wealthy Saudi businessman, operated a charity group called Blessed Relief that secretly funneled millions of dollars in donations from Saudi Arabians to Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda terrorist network. Yassin Qadi admits over the years he's met Osama bin Laden and that he was in a diamond business with bin Laden's family. But the U.S. Justice Department says Qadi is a man shrouded in mystery, moving money through offshore companies and intermediaries. But when we found Qadi in the offices of his investment firm in Jeddah recently, he insisted there was no mystery.
Our books are open for everybody. If somebody wants to come from the United States and look at that, especially from the Treasury, he's most welcome. But we didn't have a response.
Qadi's charity, Blessed Relief, has been on the U.S. intelligence radar screen for years. American investigators have said Blessed Relief gave money to a front for Hamas and to bin Laden's terror network. But Qadi says all the money he raised went for schooling and to support refugees.
We cannot say 100% that there is no mistakes. Only God is 100%. By the way, the United Nations gave us a lot of money for our work. Is the United Nations will be on the list? I mean, this is rubbish.
On Saturday, U.S. officials say they showed Saudi officials some of the evidence that charities were used to fund bin Laden. For now, Yassin Qadi's money remains frozen. He says he's still waiting to see some proof. Peter?
Thank you, John. John Miller. The Pentagon said today it was putting maximum pressure on two areas of Afghanistan, Kandahar in the south, where the Taliban is still holding on, and the Jalalabad region in the east close to Pakistan, where the U.S. believes Osama bin Laden is hiding. ABC's John McCarthy is at the Pentagon tonight. John.
Peter, an opposition group from Jalalabad with money from the CIA to encourage them has managed to muster a group of about 1,000 fighters to head into the Tora Bora Mountains to hunt for Osama bin Laden, and some from the CIA are expected to go with them.
We have rewards out. We have been actively encouraging individuals as well as collections of individuals and units of people to do exactly that in various places.
The U.S. continues to bomb caves and tunnels in the area, operating under the assumption that bin Laden is still there. Al Jazeera TV today claimed that one U.S. airstrike killed the wife and 4 children of one of bin Laden's most important lieutenants, Ayman al-Zawahiri, but he escaped injury. U.S. officials say the report appears credible. In the south, outside Kandahar today, those 1,300 U.S. Marines are now engaged in patrols that take them away from their base for several days at a time. They are trying to make it more difficult for any Taliban fighters to flee Kandahar into Pakistan.
There was fighting closer to Kandahar today, Peter. An American special operations soldier operating with opposition forces took a bullet in the shoulder, apparently smashing a bone. The injury was not considered life-threatening, but serious enough to get him out of Afghanistan.
Thank you, John. John McCarthy at the Pentagon. The Pentagon said today it's next to impossible to learn the truth about civilian casualties in Afghanistan. Local commanders near that cave complex at Tora Bora say U.S. strikes have killed more than 50 civilians. Reporters, of course, have been trying to learn what happens when the U.S. bombs. ABC's Jim Wooten has been to one village north of Kabul, and he was somewhat surprised by the attitude he found.
Their force, their destructive force, is fearsome. Even from a distance, it's terrifying. Not long ago, Taliban troops were dug in here, defending the road to Kabul when U.S. airstrikes not only obliterated them, but destroyed nearly everything else, including the humble home of this Afghan farmer Mahrabadin. This is the room where his son was born, he says. The Taliban began the destruction when they moved in 3 years ago, and the American bombing finished it. This was the Taliban headquarters, and this is the crater from the bomb that destroyed it, everybody in it, and everything nearby. The U.S. planes left the hospital standing, but not the village clinic or the local pharmacy. And look at this enormous crater carved in the Afghan earth by a bomb that barely missed the village. But Mahrabadin says he's glad they did it.
Any country that helps us, any country that bombs the Taliban, any country that kills the Taliban, we are happy. We are happy with that.
The farmer's son, Minhaj, agrees. Why are you happy, all of this destruction here? Why are you happy about that? I'm happy the Taliban have gone away, the boy says. And listen to Abdul Rahman's assessment of the airstrikes on the village where his family has lived for 200 years.
Nobody is happy to see the destruction of his own country, but the Taliban were brutal here. For this reason, we are happy. For this reason, we make thanks to America.
Despite the devastating cost of the Taliban defeat, there are still signs of life here. And now at least the people can begin to rebuild their village and their lives. Jim Wooten, ABC News, Karabakh, Afghanistan.
Interesting place. More about the village later this evening on Nightline. And one other item of international news to take note of today. Closer to home, South America's second largest economy is in desperate trouble. Today, people were lining up outside banks to withdraw what cash they can in Argentina. Argentina is $132 billion in debt. They hope the International Monetary Fund will help. But in this day and age, financial crisis in one place is not to be ignored by people living elsewhere. When we come back this evening, the teachers in jail, the price for not doing their jobs. We'll take a closer look tonight at retirement in ruins, the 401k plan you cannot change. And medicine on the cutting edge, eliminating the need to sleep.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Staples.
That snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings. Handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price. Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No. Weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
Get more for less at Staples.
I feel like it's crazy here. I'm not always sure who's going to show up for dinner and when. I found this new kind of dinner roll from Pillsbury. I just take out what I need from the freezer and bake them up in minutes. Fresh, hot rolls when I need them.
In the freezer?
I don't know what I'd do without them.
It seems like only yesterday. When I started skating at 8 years old, I never thought I'd experience the thrill of winning a medal. With all the great memories has come another thing I thought I'd never experience, the pain of osteoarthritis.
Vioxx is here, a prescription medicine for osteoarthritis pain. With one little pill a day, Vioxx can provide powerful 24-hour relief. Vioxx specifically targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. People with allergic reactions, such as asthma, to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. For more information, talk to your doctor about once daily Vioxx for the relief of osteoarthritis pain.
Perhaps my biggest victory is to be able to plan my day around my life instead of my pain.
Ask your doctor if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx, for everyday victories.
Don't get that, Frank.
Hello? Baxter!
Crunchy Meow Mix Seafood Middles. Mackerel and tuna flavors make it taste so good. Cats ask for it by name.
In New Jersey tonight, nearly 50 teachers are in jail for refusing to teach. 1,000 teachers are on strike because they failed to negotiate a contract. And they are now defying a judge's back-to-work order. They're being locked up one by one. Here's ABC's Bob Jamieson.
Throughout the day, teachers were led from the Monmouth County Courthouse in handcuffs. They were taken to jail to join others arrested last night. The strike began last Thursday in a dispute over health care benefits. Since then, 1,000 teachers have defied the order to return to work. Since yesterday, they had been called in alphabetical order into the courthouse for brief hearings. Judge Clarkson Fisher, working his way through the B's and half of the C's today, said he knew of no other way to compel them to return to their classrooms.
But would you rather choose to go to jail? It's your choice.
Sooner or later, you got to stand up for what you believe is right.
Outside the courthouse, several hundred teachers waited their turn carrying overnight bags.
The message I would like to send is courage of convictions, and you've got to do what you got to do.
We have the most important job in the world. Everybody needs to thank a teacher, not jail a teacher.
Among the first jailed was Middletown South High School football coach Steve Antonucci. South High won a New Jersey State Championship game 2 days ago.
He's standing up for what he believes in. He's got a family, and he's got to support them. It's just not fair what's going on with them.
In the community, support is anything but unanimous.
If you teach your children they can't break the law, I don't think the teacher should break the law.
There's a time for a strike, and it's not while the kids are learning.
By day's end, 47 teachers had been sent to jail in handcuffs. The judge says he will continue jailing them until they go back to work. Bob Jameson, ABC News, Freehold, New Jersey.
Other items in the national briefing tonight, a vicious computer virus. It's being called Goner, and it is spreading very quickly today through many of the world's computer networks. Our computer people tell us it is one of the most serious infections since the love bug in the spring of 2000. The government says about 1,400,000 families filed for bankruptcy in the last fiscal year. That is a 14% increase from the year before. As the economy falters, several years of free spending and heavy debt are catching up with people. In Oklahoma City today, they broke ground for a new federal building. It is quite close to the site where the Murrah building once stood. The new one will have a smaller profile. And the Olympic flame arrived in Atlanta today from Athens. Muhammad Ali also lit the flame during the games in 1996. The Olympic torch will now be carried through 80 cities in the U.S. for the next 2 months and will end up, of course, in Salt Lake City for the Winter Games. When we come back, we will take a closer look at the company pension plans that are bad investments.
It is real money, and it's the difference between, in retirement, between being able to buy salmon or tuna fish.
You've worked hard, and as you plan for the future of the people who depend on you, you search for the right financial partner. In Pacific Life, you found it. Nearly half the Fortune 500 rely on the Pacific Life family of companies. With over 130 years of experience and more than $300 billion of managed assets. For your family or for business, discover the power of Pacific Life.
Your eyes need nutrition as well as the rest of your body, so Centrum and Centrum Silver added lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Now your eyes, your toes, and everything in between are covered by Centrum and Centrum Silver. More complete from Ada Zinc.
Driveway's almost done.
Clam chowder?
Condensed soup. We're adults now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso New England clam chowder. More chunks of clams and potatoes. See the difference?
This is better.
Now with 50% more clams in every bowl.
Do you know that we've been up half the night? No, you're bunnies.
You need NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can sleep better to feel better medicine. Cold symptoms making it hard to function? Get DayQuil, the daytime non-drowsy, congested, stuffy head, sore throat, coughing, aching, fever so you can get back your day medicine. DayQuil from the makers of NyQuil.
Can your jacket do this? The remarkable, reversible Land's End down jacket. 7 great colors, 1 great price, just $68. And proof, once again, nobody knows winter wear inside out. Like Land's End, your outerwear headquarters.
Oh, how was your dinner, eh?
heartburn. I've got just what you need.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Faster than Pepcid AC or even the leading prescription. Cool, effervescent heartburn relief. A different kind of Alka-Seltzer that puts out the fire of heartburn fast.
Feels better, eh?
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Nothing puts out the fire faster.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at 401k plans, just in case you haven't done so recently. 42 million people in the country have 401ks, and many of them do not realize, to use the cliche, that they are putting so many eggs in one basket, loading up on stock in their own company, over which they may have little or no control. This was made very clear to people last week when the giant energy company Enron collapsed. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
The spectacular collapse of Enron was a huge shock to company employees, especially those with 401k plans.
I believed in the company. I trusted the company.
Like hundreds of others, Roger Boyce put all his retirement savings in Enron stock, building a $2 million portfolio that bankrolled family vacations and a major home renovation. His investments are now worth less than $10,000, and he's learned a hard lesson.
It was a tragic thing that did happen as far as the employees are concerned. And it's, to me, I would put it in terms of a being cheated by a close friend.
Analysts say the Enron disaster is a cautionary tale for all investors.
When you're working for a company, you should never have more than 10 to 25% of the company's stock in your portfolio, whether it's a stock option plan, whether it's your 401k plan, or whether you own it personally outside the company. It's just not prudent.
The trouble is many employers essentially force workers to place a large percentage of their 401k savings in company stock. Companies such as Gillette, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Disney, and Enron all match 401k contributions with company stock. In some cases, companies restrict employees from selling that stock until they're 50 or older. And some companies provide deep discounts on stock, incentives that are hard to resist when profits are soaring.
People were so afraid that they were going to miss out on the big bucks that Enron was earning, that we get greedy and we get foolish.
There is growing support for Congress to set limits on employee ownership of company stock.
They were induced to purchase the stock by a company that was consistently pumping the stock, talking it up, asking people to essentially vote with their dollars.
This week, Ford joined the growing list of companies that have stopped making matching 401k contributions. More unsettling news for investors who, at the end of the bull market, must assume more responsibility and more risk. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Washington.
When we come back this evening, medicine on the cutting edge, the pill that could keep you awake and alert for days.
If you have osteoarthritis, you owe it to yourself to learn about Celebrex. Celebrex targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. Celebrex relieves arthritis pain, plus inflammation and stiffness, too. Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions due to aspirin or other arthritis medicines, or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems, such as bleeding, can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems. Powerful 24-hour relief from osteoarthritis pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Ask your doctor about prescription Celebrex.
Holiday dishes ain't into please, but only one is hot and flaky, made with ease. First on the table, they're going fast. Grab one quick, they're gone in a flash. My heart's too young.
When I heard about the attacks, I was afraid. My boyfriend's a fireman. He left for the World Trade Center as soon as we saw the news. I had a friend who worked in Tower 2. For 13 hours, I didn't hear anything. I needed to help. I went to the Red Cross and volunteered at the Family Assistance Center. My boyfriend's okay, but my friend died. Helping the Red Cross helped me get through it all.
Thank you, Catherine Carey, for helping America.
Americans are asking what is expected of us.
What is expected of us?
What is expected of us?
We ask you to live your lives.
Do your business.
Do your business around the country.
Fly and enjoy.
And enjoy America's great destination spots.
Take your family.
Enjoy life.
The way we want it to be enjoyed. Greatness is found.
Greatness is found.
When American character.
And American courage. American courage.
Can overcome American challenges.
And we will.
And we will.
Wherever there's dirt, there should be a Dustbuster. Everything's bustable with the cleaning power of the Dustbuster, built by Black & Decker.
I've always liked natural things. That's why I use Beano. Only Beano helps prevent gas from problem foods with a natural food enzyme. It's not a drug. So if you prefer natural ingredients like I do, prevent gas with Beano.
I'm Paul Lindman. Coming up on K2 News, the search for possible associates of Osama bin Laden comes to Oregon. One man says he knows where the FBI was looking. Plus, the theft of Red Cross donations caught on tape. Police want your help in catching this man. And is danger lurking in the soil of a Clark County neighborhood? Anxious residents waiting for results next on K2.
Tomorrow, inside a training camp for terror, see what you've never seen. Terrorist plans for making bombs, blowing up bridges, and future attacks on World News Tonight.
Finally tonight, the future of sleep, which so many of us say we don't get enough of. This is about a pill to keep you awake. One researcher told the New Yorker magazine it is the most tempting drug for our society to come along in decades. Here's ABC's John McKenzie with Medicine on the Cutting Edge.
It is a tantalizing goal, controlling the night, sleeping less to accomplish more, a drug that might allow people to stay awake and alert.
I would use it if I were traveling, if I had to take a red eye.
If maybe one of my children or grandchildren were ill and I was, say, going to be in the hospital with them.
The prescription drug called modafinil is approved for people with a sleeping disorder who cannot stay awake during the day. But it also holds intriguing promise for millions of others who are sleep deprived.
If you take modafinil after sleep deprivation, it can restore you to a normal level of alertness where you can concentrate, you can do things.
No one knows exactly how it works, but unlike other stimulants such as caffeine or amphetamines, modafinil shows little sign of being addictive and has few side effects.
Modafinil has the advantage of not stimulating the cardiovascular system. So people are much less likely to feel palpitations, feel tremulousness, feel their heart racing.
I don't feel any buzz at all.
Tony Heath Richard uses the drug because breathing problems disrupt her sleep at night. Some doctors are prescribing the drug for daytime drowsiness in people with depression, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis. But how many other people should have access to the drug? Doctors warn there's no evidence that modafinil can overcome all the harmful consequences of going without sleep.
Our cardiovascular system needs sleep, thyroid function, hormone levels, the immune system, glucose metabolism, insulin, all seem to be dependent on sleep for normal function.
In other words, before doctors can prescribe this stimulant more widely, they need to learn more about how much and how often sleep patterns can be safely disrupted. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Tomorrow on World News, along with the Middle East and Afghanistan, the Coast Guard revives a 19th century tradition with its Christmas ship. I'm Peter Jennings. I hope you have a good evening and you sleep well. Good night.
Tonight, one child has killed another.
Can you imagine being scared of your own kid? Don't touch me!
Now, one lawyer must face the fight of her career.
If you're found guilty, I am guilty.
A new Philly After Blue, ABC Tonight. Viewer discretion.
1941, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, we were devastated. There was confusion, shock. That changed America, changed it completely. When I saw the film Pearl Harbor, I could imagine myself being there all over again.
Pearl Harbor, available now at Walmart.
I'm proud that I was a part of that magnificent group of people that overcame one of the greatest tragedies in history and to emerge even stronger.
Stunning portraits of the land we love. KOIN TV's Oregon by Air. Call 1-800-421-4276 or visit KOIN.com. Choose from 4 spectacular programs, just $16.95 each. Or pay $44.95 and get the complete set.